what has been going on with PPP loans and PPP loan fraud. Now, this channel is all about education and helping people with their money. So something strange is happening right now. I am noticing a huge spike in a video that I did months ago. So back in September, I decided to make a video about some PPP loan fraud that was in the news. And just to be honest with you, no one watched the video. But this past week, tens of thousands of people are Googling and watching this video on PPP loan fraud. So today, I'm going to share with you exactly what is PPP loan fraud and why many of you don't have anything to worry about. However, if you are concerned, I'm going to walk you through what's going on. You're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right. Way back in March and April of 2020, there was news stories about big banks giving back PPP money because they shouldn't have gotten it in the first place. And then all of a sudden you would hear a news story about somebody buying like a Lamborghini and making up fake employees. Those types of news stories I don't think are the ones that are on everyone's mind right now. You see, recently the Justice Department released a press briefing that said they have just indicted close to 500 different defendants in this coordinated ring of conspiracy. Essentially, we're talking about coordinated fraud that has taken close to $500 million from the federal government. What we've been hearing in the news essentially falls into one of three categories: violations in the attainment of PPP funds, fraud due to the misuse of the proceeds, or fraud in the forgiveness application itself. Now, just to be clear, I am digging deep here on the research, hopefully to alleviate some of the concerns that you might be having. It doesn't seem like anybody really has much to worry about if you are applying for the funds properly and honestly, using them properly, and applying for forgiveness in the right way. But trust me, I know how confusing this process has been, and things have changed along the way. So let's make one thing very clear that has been coming up that people need to know. No one should be charging you money to apply for a PPP loan. The lenders get a fee from the government through the SBA. Any sort of approved agent, it could be a tax accountant, a CPA, they are supposed to be paid a fee from the lender. However, that has not been happening. Some of these scams have involved people allowing others to log into their applications, sometimes even log into their bank accounts. As a result, when they apply, they're not putting down accurate numbers for you, or they're making up employees. In those cases, I have heard of hundreds of thousands of dollars just all of a sudden show up into someone's account. And this isn't some person that owns a multi-million-dollar company. This is someone who is basically working on a side hustle or has their own self-employed business, and all of a sudden they have all this money, and it's not supposed to be there. And then this is the part that actually really upsets me, is that these scammers, these people then come asking you for their cut. So they might call it a lender fee. It might just be some shady deal that they say they want their 20 or 30%. That is illegal, and that is exactly what the Justice Department is looking for and going after. Now, this channel is all about education. I truly believe that education is power. So I'm about to share with you some guidance and some resources so you can check your own numbers. If you do have some concerns of maybe not getting enough money or a little too much money, again, what you can do before it's time to actually apply for forgiveness. My first suggestion is to know your numbers. Initially, when people were applying for these PPP loans, a self-employed individual, 1099 employee, independent contractor, they needed to apply using their Schedule C, line 31, which was net income. Very recently, that changed, meaning people can now apply using gross income, which is line 7. So down below in the description of this video, I am going to leave 2 free spreadsheets that you can sign up for, get a copy of them, and plug in your own numbers. if you have a PPP loan from 2020 or right in the beginning of 2021, then you probably got line 31, and that's okay. You're going to probably be able to get that all forgiven so long as your calculations were correct. Now, if you're watching this and you were able to apply using gross, I want you to know what your numbers should be. So again, I'll leave a gross calculator down below that you can sign up for. Just check your own numbers. See, the proper loan amount is then going to be the proper forgiveness amount. And when it comes time to apply for forgiveness, I want you to know how much money you can expect to be forgiven. Next, I suggest reaching out to the lender. I know that some of them have been non-responsive. You call and you're wait on hold, and it seems like the person may not know what they're talking about, or you send an email and it's nothing but crickets. However, in the case where you're concerned that perhaps you received too much, and let's be honest, even if you received too little, it's still a very good idea to get in touch with the lender. So again, down below in the description of this video, I will just leave a simple message in regards to wondering if your calculation is correct. Did you get too much? If you got too little, can you request an increase? Getting that documentation, that email or secured message sent will timestamp your concern. And in the case where maybe there was a little bit too much money, you can ask how you can return it because you weren't entitled to it in the first place. Lenders are there to work with you, so hopefully they can work something out. However, I do just want to damper your expectations. Because these are SBA approved loans, sometimes the lender's hands might be tied until the SBA can actually accept your forgiveness application or it converts to a 1% loan. Now, my final suggestion speaks to forgiveness. When you apply for this money and it gets deposited into your account, you can essentially use it as owner's compensation. To be clear, there are other strategies for using a little bit here or a little bit there, but this money is not taxable income. And I think the most streamlined and simple way to use it is to pay yourself. So again, I'll leave down below an article I just wrote and updated on how to properly pay yourself this PPP money. Getting that clean documentation when and if you go to apply for forgiveness and that documentation is requested is exactly what you're going to need and want to have. Now, to be clear, you can apply for forgiveness as soon as you use the funds. So again, I'm just giving you resources to use. The most updated form for most of us self-employed individuals to use is the revised S form. I did a video on it a while back and they have since even updated it a second time. So I will leave a link down below to that video, and that video has a link to the revised form as well. A few key takeaways. I've gotten some comments on this channel about fear mongering and trying to drum up business. I am an educator. I make YouTube videos and podcasts and write blog articles to try to help people with their money. I do not want you to be afraid of applying for things that you're entitled to. But like I said before, education is power. So for example, when you're applying for unemployment, it works differently than an EIDL loan or this PPP. And so educate yourself. Take advantage of the resources down below. And if you have questions, reach out to the lenders or, do your own due diligence, find a good article that you can then show it to somebody else and try to help them as well. So with that being said, if you found this video valuable, please give it a like and leave me a comment down below. I read almost every comment and I just really appreciate the feedback. Also, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.